Okay, guys, you've had your instructions. Remember, obey my commands at all time. Defend yourselves at all time. God bless touch gloves. Let's do it. Touch them.
World Championship boxing came to Goodison Park, but that was in the movies. This is real life, and this is the test of Tony Bellew's entire career. Some final words from his trainer, Dave Coldwell. What a terrific partnership they've been. Can Coldwell guide him to a world cruiserweight title? Will Ilunga Makabu shatter the hopes and dreams of the blue half of this city and everybody in this stadium? 12 rounds for the vacant WBC cruiserweight title. Makabu, traditionally a slow starter. And just listen to this atmosphere. But as you said before, Jim, when that bell goes, everything just leaves a boxer's brain except the focus on the opponent. These two fully switched on now. Bellew, as you can see, significantly taller. Can he make that count in his favour? Makabu boxing out of that southpaw stance, taking it easy, looking to set his traps. He's very heavy-handed. He likes to counter. Bellew's got to be very careful, very patient, says Dave Coldwell. You take one risk with this fella. If it backfires, it could be good night.
Well, he's trying to take the initiative early, Bellew, which is a good sign. But it depends how good this fellow is at manoeuvring opponents. You know, he's got the southpaw stance. The first thing Bellew wants to do is move him in a clockwise direction, because he wants to move to his own right-hand side, get outside Bellew's jab. So how good he is at manoeuvring opponents. This is good from Bellew. You know, he's concentrating. He's thinking what he's doing, but he's using the right hand early. Everybody believes the right hand is the answer against the southpaw. I think the left hook is the one, but whatever works.
Well, that's something Dave Coldwell said. Part of the game plan is they've got to stay busy with that left hand. Not necessarily offensively, but just defensively. Use it as a rangefinder, use it to block. Always keep busy with that left hand. That's the mantra that's just been drummed into Bellew throughout the training camp. That left hand has got to work, and it's got to do the job. Makabu just raiding a little bit here. Bellew looking to land the right hand.
Yeah, I think the fact that Bellew is trying to use the right hand this early in the fight is a good sign. Yeah, he's got the physical advantages and he's using them. Makabu getting a little bit of a shell, trying to draw him close. Yep, I like the attitude of Bellew. He's thinking what he's doing here.
And Makabu against the ropes, then comes out again. But you'll see this with Makabu on tape. But these are nice, solid, hurtful punches that are coming in from Bellew. And Makabu is shipping a lot of punishment here. Hooks to the body, right hands upstairs. Bellew's got to keep his head, though. He's dangerous like that! The left hand spun him over right on the bell.
I want to look at his eyes here now. I don't think there was a damaging shot. The fact that he didn't crumple to the floor, he tumbled over, but that scores a big round to Makabu.
That is exactly what Dave Coldwell was saying. You can't fall into this fella's traps. He will set them. But that undid all that good work. But Bellew's got to learn from that. He's had a bit of damage around the nose of Bellew as well. A bit of blood there, not quite sure. Let's keep an eye on that. Round two then, a dramatic opening session. Bellew doing a lot of good work. Makabu coming up with a left hand on the bell, and yeah, that nose is bleeding.
He looks to have a puncher's patience, doesn't he? He knows he's not in any hurry. 12 rounds is a long time. Other chances are going to present themselves. And the southpaw stance is just another awkwardness that Bellew could be doing without, I'm sure. Makabu maybe not all that easy to catch as we thought. And he looked at as during the introductions, he was skipping about on his feet. He looks pretty mobile as well, Makabu. I expected him to be a bit more flat-footed being the puncher, but this is a tough job for Big Tony.
And he is very happy just to settle back like this, as we've seen. He sets traps. Bellew's walked into one, got away with it, albeit with some damage to the nose.
Got to get to work in this round, Bellew. You know, he's got the jab, he's got an excellent jab. But, I mean, that was a shaker, been knocked. The last thing you want is disaster in the opening round, and that's what he got. But he's very circumspect, obviously, throughout the second round here.
And so much for Makabu being the slow starter, which he has been in some of his recent fights. Took ages to get going when he won his eliminator against Makunu. Now he's bleeding from the nose as well, Makabu. Makabu definitely got caught with something.
Yeah, they're both showing each other an awful lot of respect in this round. No one really putting their stamp on this round, are they?
Bellew, quite rightly, reluctant to get drawn into anything. He won't get greedy again, to use Coldwell's words. That was what he said to him when he went back to the ring. The corner there, Coldwell, he said, you got greedy. He knows it.
Well, a couple of solid shots that have landed have come from Bellew.
Now he's just got to back off and regroup. More blood coming from the nose. That was a good little burst there from Bellew. In a round that's been as quiet as this, that might just edge it in his favour.
Yep, just keeps his concentration.
Round 3 then of this 12-rounder. While we were away, David Coldwell said, don't think about entertaining this crowd, think about winning the fight. That is spot-on advice.
Well, someone is going to have to show just a little bit more adventure than we saw in the second round, but with so much at stake, and the fact that Bellew's already been on the floor, so you can't blame him for being a little bit careful in there.
Looking to stay busy with that left hand, whether it's thrown out with jabs, whether it's blocking, whether it's hooking. He's got to stay active with that. Nice little right to the body there. Makabu very much on the front foot. Bellew does land the hook. Makabu backing up and getting out of trouble. Bellew's got to stay patient here, though. He's been here before, but Makabu blocking, covering.
If he's leaning back, he's not going to get power in his shots, but he's heavy-handed. That was a good left hook he got home with. The good work from Bellew, but he's taken too many chances
He's
now.
got to be careful. Solid shots by Makabu. Looks like he's in serious trouble now. Is this it? The legs are buckled. He's destroyed Makabu, who's still on the floor. And in some distress. Bellew doesn't know it. His team don't know it. Now they've realised. Because Makabu right in front of us is flat out sprawled on this ring.
Well, nobody saw that coming. Makabu was leaning back in the ropes against the when he was in the corner. He knew if his weight was back, there was no power in his shots. Bomber Bellew, well, he's proved it tonight.
You are not kidding. He's always said his power at cruiserweight is real. We wondered if Makabu was setting those traps again, and he's still down, and we keep our fingers crossed that this is precautionary. But no, Bellew got to him, he hurt him, and he knew he'd hurt him. He stayed on him, and ripped him up, destroyed him.
I think Makabu seems okay. I think he wants to get up, but they're just as a precaution, they're keeping him on the floor. But he looks alert, thankfully. But those were huge punches that he was supposed to take there. What a terrific performance from Tony Bellew.
Really was a career performance, and Bellew is leaning over, leaning in closely, just making sure himself that Makabu is okay. Makabu is answering him back. He's responding. I think Bellew is relieved and happy about that, and he's moved away, embracing some of the Makabu team, and you can see their disappointment. They came in here with such hopes and expectations. Their dreams have been ruined. Bellew's have been realised in spectacular and stunning fashion.
Comes in with the reputation of being the puncher, 90% knockout ratio. But as I said a few seconds ago, he calls himself Tony Bomber Bellew. Well, those were bombs he was throwing tonight. Terrific punches. He saw his chance and he grabbed it. Being on the floor in the opening round, disastrous start, puts that out of his mind, and then puts in a performance like that. Terrific. Spectacular was the word you used, and that just about sums it up, Nick.
And by the way, Jim, he was told, wasn't he? Dave Caldwell said to him, don't entertain that. What impressed me there, he saw that he'd hurt him, Jim. Even though he'd fallen into the trap earlier, he'd seen what had happened, and he was ruthless and clinical. The family in the ring with him. Very much a family man.
Other people out, he's not used to being under pressure, and this is the nice part of boxing, isn't it? I mean, this is what people do not understand about this crazy business. It's a sport.
So much.
Look at that.
I can't be friends before because I think you're a lovely guy and I don't want to be friends before. You'll understand I respect you so much.
Don't so much. I have so much respect for you.
Look at me. I have so much respect for you. I appreciate it.
There are people on the fringes of boxing who somehow think Tony Bellew's a bit of a bad guy, you know. How can you possibly think that when you see and hear a gesture and words like that? What class from Tony Bellew. I think Makabu is as much mentally shattered as physically. Let's have another look at it again.
Well, Tony was throwing meaningful punches. That is the punch he probably felt it was getting him the result. He knew it was clean. He'd forced Makabu onto the defensive. Again, his body weight is back, so he's not going to get power into his own punches. Terrific shots from Tony. I was worried at the time that maybe he was taking too many chances, but not completely. The opposite was true. A good left hook just knocked Makabu onto the defensive. It caught him a little bit high, but it's troubled him. And from that point on, Makabu really couldn't get any purchase on anything that he was trying to do. His legs, his balance gone, pushed back against the ropes, body weight behind him. And Tony just so cool, looking for the spot. I mean, natural punchers, when they see a chance, they go for it. Tony saw his chance and he went for it. Oh, terrific shots.
Yeah, really, really impressive. We were hoping to hear from Carl. It was all over so quickly, but yeah, let's bring you in now, Carl. Your assessment of Tony Bellew and that performance.
Well, he caught Makabu with a great shot, very well with a left hook, and then he jumped on him. And I like to see fighters go for the finish, especially when they can punch like the bomber Tony Bellew can. And I think he did absolutely the right thing. It could have gone wrong for him, it could have gone either way, but this is what I need to see. I like to see people in a world title fight go out there and grab that title. Terrible start for him to recompose himself. As Jim Watt pointed out, it wasn't such a devastating knockdown because he was caught square on. He did a backward roll, got onto his feet, he recovered straight away. But to come out in the very next round and put this on, just unbelievable. Great performance by Tony Bellew. And Makabu's a good little fighter as well, dangerous, and just fantastic. I can't get my words, I really can't. This is just phenomenal.
But again, it shows that Makabu, if he lacked one thing, it was experience at a high